So I've been doing this movie reviews for 5 years now. I said that in my last review, and it just happened a couple weeks ago. I fell upon my 5 year anniversary of doing doing these reviews. I've been doing these on YouTube for 4 years, but I started doing these like on Facebook for my friends and everything else 5 years ago. That's how it all started, and when I found out I was coming upon my 5 year anniversary of doing these reviews, I said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't I ask my friends to give me any request of any movie I have not seen that they want me to review? I'll do it. I was like, this should be harmless. Why not? So I posted on Facebook, and then within minutes, I said, the first person to give me a suggestion, I'll review that movie. Within minutes, my good friend, Nicolette, said, hey, why don't you review Human Centipede 3? To which I was like, fuck. I was like, god damn it. I was like, fine. This is a movie I've been putting off for 2 years. I have been. And me and my friend Nicolette, this has been a running joke for since the first one came out about the absurdity of the Human Centipede movies and how awful or how gross and awful they are. And we talk about these movies nonstop for some reason. I don't know why. And it was a running joke for from 2011 to 2015. Like, when's Human Centipede 3 come out? When's Human Centipede 3 come out? When is it? And then it came out, and then I never watched it. I'm like, oops. I was like, I was trying to hold this off till October when I'm going to try to do Halloween or horror theme reviews for Halloween. But because I got this request, it's like, all right, I'll do it now. Fuck. And I was not looking forward to watching this that much. The other ones are not that great. The first one's actually the better one out of the two. It is not. There are things about it I do like about the first one, and I'll get to that when talking about this movie too. But I was not looking forward to this, because if there's anything that didn't need to be a fucking trilogy, it's the Human Centipede. And I don't know why. I don't know why anybody's going to be watching this review to see my opinion. The movie's terrible. You know it. Everybody watching this review knows it. This movie's fucking awful. It is very terrible. But I will say this with a straight face: I kind of recommend it. If that makes it. Only if you've seen the other ones, because I don't know. It has some it's so bad it's good qualities to it, if that makes any sense. Because of that, I kind of recommend it. Even though it is a fucking terrible piece of shit, no pun intended. The reason why I put this movie above, this movie's just fucking terrible, don't watch it. The reason why this movie is almost watchable is because of Dieter Laser. God damn it. Okay, if you don't know who Dieter Laser is, people that don't, they're like, who the fuck is that? He was the doctor, the crazy doctor that came up with the idea for the surgery of the Human Centipede in the first one. He's in this one. He's not playing the same character because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the first one, he dies at the end of the first one. He's playing a warden at a prison, Texas prison. I believe it's Texas. I'm assuming. It never really says, unless I missed it somewhere. Where He Texas ward is a warden in the Texas prison who's has a lot of unruly inmates and is about to be shut down as a warden because he's doing a terrible job. And his performance in this fucking movie is something that needs to be studied. Literally has to be studied. In the first one, I loved him in the first one. I thought he was the best. He was the best thing about the first one, in that he was actually kind of fucking terrifying in that movie and intimidating as hell. And also, it could be over the top and campy at times, but he also was like really intimidating, like for most part. This one, he takes all the intimidating, kind of scary elements of his character out from this character and just amps up the over the top batshit craziness to 1,000. His performance, like, he in this movie, like, can't even do simple things without either screaming, making weird facial expressions, or, because seriously, like, he yells almost every other line in this movie. And I don't like it. And, like, this is obviously a guy who does not give a fuck. That's the best way I can describe it. If I remember right, he was, like, kind of the reason why it took a long time for this movie to be made, because he was fighting them over this movie or something, like, I think for more money. And this guy does not give a fuck. This is a guy who doesn't give a fuck. He's giving it in a terrible but hilarious performance that I can only describe as, like, Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Like, it's so batshit that you can't take away your eyes from it. It's like, thank God he's in the whole movie, because he wasn't in all of the first movie. And when he wasn't in all of the first movie, it was terrible. He's in all of this, and he makes it watchable for the most part. Like I said, he is so over the fucking top. He can't even have an orgasm in this movie without fucking having making the weirdest sounds I've ever heard a human make, or yawn, or just, I don't know what the fuck he does. Like, even walk across the room, he can't do anything normal without doing something weird. You have to see this to believe it. It's fucking weird. His performance is amazing. I said, I want to see this guy in more movies, for God's sake, other than this. You got Lawrence Harvey as his accountant. Lawrence Harvey was the bad guy in the second movie, the big fat guy in the second movie. And he has dialogue in this movie, and he also has a Hitler mustache, because reasons. Just reasons. I think he was better not talking than he was at talking, because his acting in this movie is just as fucking horrible as it was in the second movie. He's not very good. He's not very good. I mean, this is a movie where it has the worst dialogue I've ever fucking seen or heard, so I'm not gonna bury this movie for bad performances, trust me, because it's pointless, alright? This movie is meant to be like a parody of the fucking Human Centipede films more than anything. I can tell it's not supposed to be taken seriously, because with Dieter Laser's performance, you can't take this shit seriously. But that doesn't make it a great film. That's who else is in this? Fucking Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts! What the hell? Like, was he desperate for a paycheck and said, fuck it, I'll just do Human Centipede free? He's the governor that's about to shut them down. Oh, what the hell? Like, I was like, I never minded Eric Roberts. Like, he apparently will just take any role given to him anymore. What the hell? You got Brie Olson is the porn star Brie Olson is the secretary who is just referred to as Tits the whole movie by Dieter Laser. No joking. And her job is to just basically give him blowjobs. I'm not making that up. And then there's a scene where there's a close-up of her vagina sweating. I'll get into gross stuff in this movie. There are gross stuff in this movie. Actually, compared to the second one, this is a little tame, a little bit. There's still a lot of shit in this movie that's fucked up. Oh man. You've got Tiny Leister, Tony Tiny Leister, or Zeus. Anybody who's a big WWE fan or No Holds Barred movie fan is in this. So you got Eric Roberts and him in this movie. So it's like both actors were in The Dark Knight, and now they're in Human Centipede 3. That is sad. That is really sad. Even fucking Tom Six, the director of this movie, decides to cast himself as himself in this movie. He is a consultant to the prison warden, or to Dieter Laser, as to how to build this human centipede, because of course this is 100% medically accurate. They mentioned that 500 fucking times. like they're like, yeah, this, because the whole, I remember that about the first one. They were trying to say that if you were to build a human centipede, they could live a lifetime. Bullshit. It's still called bullshit. There's even doctors that have said bullshit. I think to the point they retracted that statement, 100% medically accurate, because I think they were trying to go with that for the first one when that first one came out, and then they had to retract that. Like, there's a lot of doctors called bullshit on that. I don't have to fucking be a doctor to tell you that's bullshit. Yeah, but he plays himself, and there's like self-congratulatory dialogue, like, all your movies are so great, Mr. Six. Thank you. It's like, you're so handsome in real life. And that's dialogue that's being given to him, or like being said to him during this movie. Like, he might as well be like the fucking Stanley Kubrick of fucking cinema, the modern day Stanley Kubrick or something, according to the dialogue in this fucking movie. I'm not fucking joking. Man, I was worried going into this movie because it was on Netflix, so I got to watch it for free, thank God. But I looked at the running time, 1 hour and 42 minutes. I was like, wait a minute. The last two movies were like 1 hour and 20, at least hour 30. Like about an hour and 20 minutes. And they were pretty short. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is this movie an hour and 4? I was like, are you kidding me? Okay. You spend 1 hour and 20 of that just kind of leading or building up to this human centipede, and the last 20 minutes are the human centipede, and that's it. That's all you see of the human centipede. The whole it's a whole prison full of it's all the prisoners attached to each other, sewn to each other, to form one big giant human centipede. And it's, when you get to that, it's like, it's not very graphic. It's kind of does the same the things that the first one did, where it's a lot more implied, or doesn't really show you like some of the more disgusting details, like, you know, shit in people's mouths. It just implies it. Like, there's a guy who has fucking Crohn's disease, and Dieter Laser puts the prisoner that he hates the most behind that guy, so he has to eat his shit all the time. God, I can't believe I'm fucking reviewing this for my 5-year anniversary. oh god, this like, of course, this movie has disgusting things in it. Of course, Dieter Laser. Let's see. Let's go for like what I can remember off the top of my head. There's a whole. I completely forgot about this until the very end when this kept being brought up. Throughout the whole movie, he gets a jar of something, and it's dried up clitorises from Africa that he keeps eating throughout this fucking movie. And then there's a scene where he's first idea that he wants, because he's trying to find a way to control all these inmates and everything else, and Lawrence Harvey's the one that keeps telling him, oh, you gotta do this Human Centipede shit. He even has like DVD copies. This movie opens the same way the second one opened, with them watching the ending of the second movie, like, you know, like how the second one opened with them watching the ending of the first movie, so it kind of connects. And he, before he comes up with this idea, or it ends up going with the idea of the Human Centipede, he's like, oh, we're just gonna do a castration of all the fucking prison inmates, to which it leads to him fucking cutting off a guy's balls graphically, and then having someone having a cook cook them, and he eats the testicles. Yes, that happens in this fucking movie. The fuck else happens in this movie? I liked what they did with I did chuckle at what they did with the death row inmates and the people that are in there for life. That was kind of funny. I hate to say I laughed at that. I'm not going to spoil that, but you find out. He wants to do something. Because at the end of the day, like, I kind of chuckled that they brought up the idea that, like, well, you do know that these guys eventually do get released. They're in the Human Centipede. They're going to get released. They're like, oh yeah, well, I guess we shouldn't knock out their teeth or sever their kneecaps. So let's just. They come up with different ways. There's a guy who, like, so they, like, they inject the knees to paralyze them, and then just sew their mouths to a guy's ass. That's basically that's one of the most famous shots in the movie, where they pull a guy's head right into a guy's ass. I am not fucking joking, people. That is a scene that fucking happens in this movie. I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this. What else gross shit happens? I gotta look this up. I saw this last night. I can't believe I'm forgetting about it. Fuck. I know there's something else. I know I'm forgetting something else that I want to talk about. Like I said, I literally got done watching this at like 4 a.m. and I said, fuck it, I'm going to bed. Shit. There's a scene where he fucking waterboards a prisoner of boiling water. That was kind of gross. There's a guy who eats his own shit. And that was actually kind of funny. I hate to say that I laughed at that scene, because he wants to punish these prisoners, like I said, and like they will have like scars. When they get released, there is a guy at the end that gets released after being in the Human Centipede for a while, and the only thing he's left with is like scars where he was stitched at the mouth, and like they said, that the prisoner ends up becoming obedient and stuff like that. And there's a guy who they just randomly cut to, who is in his prison cell, who's taking a dump in his hands and fucking eating his own shit. And Dieter Laser ends up shooting the guy. The guy ends up shooting the guy because he doesn't want him to enjoy this process of the Human Centipede. I was like, oh, that's so fucked up. I did kind of laugh at that. There's a guy who has a stoma that he ends up shooting. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I don't know. It ends about as what I predicted it would end. It's so it's fucked up what happens at the end of this movie, but it's like I said, I don't know how as a so bad it's kind of funny movie because of Dear Layers' performance. I kind of recommend it on that end, but as far as like I like this movie better than the second one. I'll say that right now. His Dear Laser just carried this fucking movie. He was the reason why I had some enjoyment out of this thing. Like I said, it's an hour and fucking 20 minutes of really nothing, and then only 20 minutes of the fucking Human Centipede, and it's nothing really. If you're wanting to see something gross or anything, it's not that much. It's not that gross when it gets to that, like, when it gets to it. But yeah, it's Human Centipede. I don't know what I recommend. Just you decide if you want to fucking watch Human Centipede for you. How about that? I just kind of went into details with some of the stuff that goes on in this movie, and if you're repulsed by it, I don't blame you. I fucking I can't believe I just watched this for my fucking 5-year anniversary review of this movie. Thanks, Nicolette. Things you'll do for your friends, you know. Anyways, I'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday or somewhere around there with Baby Driver. Thank God I'm going back to normal with this. I'll be going to see that, and I'll be sitting at the drive-in, so guess what's playing with it? Transformers. I said that a couple of weeks ago, I'm not reviewing Transformers. Well, guess what? Now I am. Well, unless I walk out of it, but I haven't walked out of the movie yet, so I highly doubt I will. Fuck it, I might as well, for $9, might as well watch it. And Baby Driver. At least I'll get to see Baby Driver. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.